Hello and welcome back to Hal Tech TV. Today we've got another unboxing on a Mini-ITX product. I promise we will be doing more than just Mini-ITX in the future. We have been, but not so much as Mini-ITX, but we will be doing more on all of the other stuff, I promise. But today we've got the SilverStone ML07, which is a Mini-ITX case, like I said, and it's a little bit different from your standard Mini-ITX case. So your standard Mini-ITX case is designed to fit all of your standard features, but this is actually based off the RV-Z01. So it's essentially a gaming case, but with a sleeker, more professional design on the front. It's basically a gaming case with a facelift. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for the end user? That means that this has basically a lot more features than maybe your standard case might have. So let's go in and take a look at what comes in the box with the SilverStone ML07 and see if it really is that little bit better than your standard case. So what I'm gonna do is I'll be up past the camera. You might see my mouth, so it might look a little bit weird on camera, but I'm just gonna basically open up the case, and we'll see what comes in the box. Now I am expecting another product. As you can see, it's got blue SilverStone tape on, and what that generally means is that it's not just your standard case box. That means that there might be, I believe, another product inside here for me to review, if I can just get it open. So I'll have to make that clear further in the video. I will tell you if there is a product in here that doesn't come stock with this case. So who knows, maybe I'm not correct. Yes, okay, so there is these two cables. I'll just put this knife out of the way. And these two cables don't come with it, I'm sad to say, but these are the CP11. So if you want really small, thin starter cables, those will be in a small feature review, and those you might actually be interested in. But here, moving on to the ML07. So what comes in the box, you've got, this maybe doesn't come in the box, I'm not too sure, but here is a little brochure, shows you all of the products that SilverStone do. You've also got your ML07 user's guide, I guess. It's not just paper, it's kind of a fibre, I'm not sure what you call it, but it's high quality is what I'm trying to say. So try and get this out in the best way possible and put the box to one side. Now I do want to say, just before we move on, this is hard foam packaging, but, and this is a big but, and this you'll see in the review, it's double wall cardboard, which means that this cardboard, doesn't matter what you hit with it, it doesn't take dents, it doesn't take bends in the cardboard. It's actually quite hard to bend double wall cardboard, which means that your product should, regardless of whether it's hard foam packaging or not, come to you in perfect condition. Double wall cardboard is more important than the type of foam used inside the case. Just a little heads up on that. SilverStone is one of the companies that uses double wall packaging. Now this is the ML07, so I'm going to change the angle. I'm going to give you a better angle so you can see it a little bit more, and then we'll move on and we'll show you around the case. Just a little heads up, what I've done is I've upped the ISO to 1600, so I'm sorry if the video is a little grainy, but I've done that so that you can actually see what's going on in the video, because we've got a little bit of a lighting issue at the moment, which will be sorted in the future, but for now we'll deal with what we have. So from left to right, we've got a slot loading optical drive bay, and now I do want to point out that this is all plastic. Everything but structural stuff is plastic, so the sides are plastic other than the chassis underneath it. So moving over to the right, we've got two USB 3 ports, headphone and microphone jack. Having them so wide apart, the USB ports, means that you can put bulky things like SD card readers in and still use the second one, which is good. Now below them you've got your power and reset switches and your hard drive and power and hard drive activity LEDs. Now these are clicky buttons, they're not really pushy buttons, so they're a little bit similar to the SGO5 and a little bit like what you will see on quite a few of SilverStone's Mini-ITX cases. Now moving around to the side, it's the same for the other side, so this side then I will show you in just a second. You've got a bar coming across here just like you did on the front, but on the sides you will notice that they are ventilated, so this is ventilation for both the left and right sides. Remember that these are the smaller sides, so this is essentially like the top and bottom on your kind of standard tower case. Same on the left side. So moving around, we'll start with this top area. So we have what looks to be a 120mm fan mount, which has kind of an interesting grill. I actually kind of like that. It's different, and I like different. But this is right above, if you can see just there, right above where the motherboard CPU cooler, well, motherboard tray is CPU cooler area will be. So that will mean that you can use something low profile, maybe just the stock cooler, or maybe something a little bit better, but something really low profile, and then put a big fan above it, or you can just forget about the fan and put a really big low profile cooler. So something in terms of coolers that I've reviewed, there is SilverStone variants, so if you want to go with something that will have been tested to work in this case, there's quite a few SilverStone low profile coolers, but I'm talking about in terms of comparison, low profile size, something like a NHL9i compared to an NHL12 from Noctua. So you will also notice that the expansion slots, you've got two full-size expansion slots, which will mean that you will be using a ribbon cable to connect your expansion slots there. You also have a power plug here, which means that the power supply will be moved somewhere internally into the case, which means that it has been designed to be compact and to fill the case with as many products as you can in such a small space. So other than that, if we move it round and switch it over to the bottom of the case, you will notice that you've got another two 120mm fan slots and a grill here in the fan shape, which means there might be somewhere internally where you could put a fan in, or that might be the blower area for a graphics card. I am not too sure. Maybe even for the power supply. So we'll go in and I'll change the angle maybe, and we'll go in and see what the internal layout is. So you've just seen the external, let's go in and see the internal. So as I was saying, it's a very compact interior, as you can see. So we've got what seems to be two 2.5-inch drive bays here. You can also see that there's a riser card here for your expansion slot. And now I do want to commend SilverStone in this video, even though it is just the unboxing. I do want to commend them on the top side panel, top panel, whatever you want to call it. It is a really high quality, really dense, thick side panel, so you will have no problems with the quality on that, especially in terms of connecting it and you know, retopping the case. Yeah, because that's what you call it. It's retopping the case. I don't know what I'm unscrewing here, guys. I could be making it fall apart. Now I'm just trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. So what I seem to want to do is unscrew this bit. Now if it goes correctly on camera, then I won't have to redo this and I won't have to skip anything. But if it doesn't go correct, you will definitely not be seeing this. Yes, I am a genius. So as you can see here, this is a 2.5 inch drive bay mount with your optical drive mount there as well, and it also is what looks to be your graphics card mount as well. So you mount your graphics card in here, and then you put this back in, plugging it in to your motherboard. So that is actually a extremely simple design for a very complicated case. So they've actually done quite well here. They've simplified it, so as you can see there, through that gap you've got your expansion slot there to plug your graphics card in. So it's a very secure way of mounting your graphics card somewhere else in the case. So like I said, 2.5 inch drive bay, optical drive, and your graphics card. So that is a very nice mount. Remember that this back area is steel. So like I said, all structural areas, steel. So moving on, we've got a box. What's in this box? I need a knife. What is in this box? Let's find out. So we've got a box with bags in. Now what are in these bags? So I will have to figure this out, but it looks to be some form of anti-vibration things. These may be feet actually. So those I'm gonna figure out, I'll tell you at the end. Those look like feet, which is really cool. Now other than that, there is a PCI Express extension, which I'm not too sure what that's for. That may be so you have to plug this into your card, and then this and your card into the riser. I'll figure this out again and I'll tell you this at the end. Oh, bag's confusing me. Now this is simple. Bag of screws. I know what this is. Yes, I'm a genius. Let's get that out of the way. These look to be feet. So what are those? These are feet. I know that. These are definitely feet. Watch me get it wrong. You also get a SilverStone badge there. So I didn't notice, but there's no SilverStone badge on the front. So you can add the SilverStone badge if you want. That is a really nice feature. SilverStone, you are going places. Now there's extra things. Now I don't know what these are. You're making me look like an idiot here, SilverStone. Yes, I'll figure these out as well off camera, and I'll tell you what these are. But there's anti-vibration stuff, and they look to be little chairs. So I'll figure that out. What else do we have? We have, okay, so yes, down here, this is another 3.5 inch mount area here, and your power supply mount down here. So as you can see there, you plug your power supply in, you've got that, and the power supply goes there. So that's nice for connecting your power supply, which is, I don't know if you can see on camera, but there's a bar here which you can actually remove. Potentially you can actually remove. It's connected by 2 screws, but you can, that kind of compartmentalizes the entire system, so you've got no cables in the way of your graphics cards. Power supplies up down there, no cables in the way of your motherboard. Actually a really good design. So what else do we have? We've got HD audio, USB 3, and then all of your other front panel connections. Now again, the audio is, if I can, okay, no, oh, am I correct? Yeah, right, the audio looks to be secured on through the PCB, so if you weren't going to use front panel audio, you're going to have to be stuck with this cable unless you want to cut it off. So what I will do now is I will point out other interior things that I haven't yet covered. So what is there on the interior? Other than the fact that there's ventilation all the way down both sides, this cage right here you can unscrew through screws. This barrier here is also, you can unscrew. Essentially you can literally take every single thing out of the inside of this case. making it a very, very, very easy case to build a Mini-ITX system in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come off camera, I'm going to figure out everything that we have not yet covered, like all those things in the bags, and I'm going to get back to you and I'm going to cover all them just in a second. So guys, I've had a little read through and I've figured out what a few of them are, right? So what I thought were feet are actually feet. They actually provide you with two different kinds of feet just so that you can choose, because some people don't like one type of feet compared to the other. These are ones which kind of sit on the outside and hold it up from the outside. These are ones which you stick in the bottom, and they're like the semi-sphere ones. What's the semi-sphere called other than a semi? I don't know. But two different types of feet. I think that's exceptional. Now, in terms of these two little seat things, what these are actually for is this sits above the graphics card, because remember the graphics cards are, because of the way the system's laid out, they're basically the same as what you will see in a normal system, but this sits above the graphics card. You can choose from an array of like holes. You can choose where to put it depending on the graphics card that you have, and then this you attach after you've put your graphics card in. You just slide it in, find the right height and screw it on, and that is there to hold the graphics card, to stop it bending, and to stop it from sagging at all, protecting not only the case and the PCI expansion slot on the case, but also your graphics card. Yet another feature. Like I said, the interior of this case is designed for the kind of people who will put heavy duty, powerful equipment in. I did say that from the start. Now, in terms of maximum compatibility, it does feature, if you don't put a 120mm fan in the roof above the motherboard, you can go up to 83mm in terms of CPU cooler height, which is more than enough for a really good low profile cooler. Now if you are going to go really low profile, which if you want to check out some temp reviews or some cooler reviews and the temperature ratings that I've temperature testing that I've done on some really low profile coolers, you can go and check them out, and you will actually see that you can get a really good cooler really small, and then to have an extra 120mm fan above it just blowing cold air constantly down on it, you're not going to have any problems with temperature, especially with the graphics card having that much room for ventilation below the case. No problems with graphics card, which is compartmentalized away from the motherboard. Perfect design for separating temperatures and actually getting really good cooling. Now in terms of graphics cards, I've talked about them, but I haven't said what you can fit in it. In terms of graphics cards, looking through the little manual, it is actually helpful. Now they have a one here that is for graphics cards here. So 330mm, so 13-inch graphics cards will fit in this case without a problem. 33cm graphics cards without a problem. Now I can't wait to review this more in depth, because it will be so easy. I know straight away it's going to be so easy to build in this case, because it's so compartmentalized. It is literally plugging one component in at a time and not having to worry about more than one at once. So there we have it. That is the SilverStone ML07 based off the RVZ01, the Raven series of gaming cases, but the professional one is the ML07. I'm Hal Thompson. You've been watching another Haltech video on Haltech TV. Please don't forget to subscribe. Go over and bookmark our website, check out all of our reviews, and spread the word about Haltech. I'm Hal Thompson, like I said. You've been watching another Haltech video, like I said. Please come back for more, and goodbye.